Gravy, baby.
Welcome to Gravy Baby. What's up, my little gravy babies, my little gravy boats, my little gravy ladles, gravy.
Gravy accoutrement,
Accoutrement.
bitches. Hi.
The hatred for the French has just been ingrained in me, and it's brainwashing. I mean, it also might be self-hatred because they're all rad, but they're kind of asshole pricklish. I'm like, maybe it's the mirror.
But I think it's the way that they're assholes. You know how there's like overt narcissism and covert narcissism. They're like it's like a snooty asshole as opposed to like out loudish asshole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're right about that. I don't have a lot of that in me. Thank you.
Is it because of the revolution? Is it because they had the big revolution and they're supposed to be? Listen, I don't like putting myself out there like this, but I think once you chop off a couple of rich people's heads, you know.
Oh my God. Could you imagine if we did that? Do you imagine how, like, if they think, dude, if you think Americans are fucking obnoxious now, dog. If we do this fucking revolution, bitch.
Luigi, I mean, Luigi didn't really accomplish much other than the death. And a few, maybe a few things here and there, and people were like T-shirts. I mean,
not only that, but DJs around the world were using footage of him from his court case in their goddamn EDM drops. Like it was, my client was, like it was like, come on, dude, it was ridiculous. It would be. I mean, we need that, dude. That's what we need. Then I think the rest of the world will be like, all right, we got to give them this one.
You guys are right. And you sort of cut off my argument before I started it, because I was about to say, yeah, they did cut rich people's heads off fucking 150 years ago, and they won't stop talking. But you're right. Of course they won't stop talking about it. That's also kind of rad. Like, moving on would kind of suck.
Yeah.
Oh, they suck now. The government now? Oh, dude, they're terrible.
Macron?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, fucking
He
awful.
can suck my Macron.
Yeah, macaroni in his hat.
Yeah, dude, are you kidding me? It'd be used for every excuse. I mean, every worker would be weaponized. I'm not coming in today. We really need you. We can't have you miss it.
That's another thing.
Do you not remember we cut off these motherfuckers' heads?
But also, their yellow vests, like solidarity trade. Go watch some of the footage from the fucking here recently.
Mm-hmm.
The yellow vest strikes where they're out there fucking throwing hands with fucking like the police.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's inarguable that it is proof that both sides are right about guns in this country.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that is, but the right doesn't want you to know. It's the things they say privately, which is, it would make things better.
Mm-hmm.
And also it would make it harder on the ruling class, which is the secret that the right doesn't want you to know, but they do know this. They are well aware. They're like, yeah, if we don't let cops have guns, we can't fucking control these people. The reason that the yellow vests can go out there and throw hands is that they're not going to get shot.
Yeah.
But if these fat fuck sloppy was in an office 3 weeks ago trying to get my student loans forgiven from the 2 semesters of community college, piece of shit, new ICE agents had to actually fist fight people. I mean, on the one hand, people wouldn't be as mad, so maybe it wouldn't be like the groundswell we have.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was, like if right now ICE had to go out there without guns, they get the fuck beat out of them.
Yeah, without question.
Well, they're just the sheer numbers of the people who,
right,
there would be.
Right.
So, I don't know.
What don't you know? What do you know? Hello, everyone.
Hey, guys.
What an intro. What a way to start.
I know, truly. Fired up.
We're fired up, son. Gravy baby for me, my son is putting together concepts. That's pretty cool.
Ooh,
you know,
give me an
he
example.
says things like "not yet," and he's doing it correctly. He means it, and that's like kind of wild and interesting to observe. I was telling Brian, we were walking to the river the other day. My mom had him, and she was texting me. She was like, "I just want you guys to know you're doing a great job." And then she was like, "He's so smart," and then she was like, "He's so sweet." And then she just kept going. And I told Brian, I was like, after like 4 or 5, it kind of makes him less good. Like, you know what I'm saying? I kind of stopped believing her. I was like, "Oh, he's just your grandson, Mom."
Oh, you might be biased. This might be a biased answer.
Well, and it also might be recency bias because she was even comparing him to other grandkids. Hope they're not listening, but she was basically like, he's well ahead of where they were at this age. And at first I was like, okay, cool. That makes me feel good, I guess. And then after the 5th compliment, I was like, dog, you just ain't had a grandkid this young in 10 years. And now you're literally listing every human quality and claiming his is better than most people's. Stop.
She's juicing you up though. That's why you're like, don't let it go to my head. Fuck. You got to tone these down.
She's juicing him up too. And I'm like, man, that's your job as grandma to spoil him. But I feel like my job's to prevent it.
Yep. You gotta tone it down. Like, listen, not everybody in the world's going to talk to you like this. Most people.
Well, I am not at all trying to change the subject away from what's going on in the world. I just wanted to share some joy because I do think what's going on in the world is. Another thing, though, that's brought me joy, I'll do 2 gravies. Our buddy Warren Tidwell is there. He's going to be heavily involved tomorrow in the organizing. He's already been involved in the organizing in the strikes that start tomorrow. I want to get into that with you guys. But he's been sending me updates. He's also been posting stuff on Facebook.
Today. It would be today when they get this.
Oh,
so
nice.
Today,
good point,
hopefully,
Carmen.
You are not at work. Hopefully. Today is the general
we
strike.
We posted this yesterday. Or recorded it, I mean. Anyway, if you want to follow Warren on Facebook, if any of you donated when I said, hey, I got a buddy going up there and right now he wants to remain anonymous, he no longer feels the need to do that. Warren Tidwell on Facebook, he's got some really good updates on what he's seeing up there, what he's learning and stuff. Pretty cool. That's been gravy for me.
Hell yeah. Also just like an angel of a human being, truly like sweet to talk to. Very like, I like that guy. What a delight.
I don't know if he's Turkish, but we'll call him Turkish Delight. Sailor's Delight. How about that? That's
anytime you see a dude
right there.
Show up with Turkish Delight, you know he just got a hair transplant. That's how you know. When they show up, they got the Turkish Delight. Yeah. Where'd you just come back from? Were you in Istanbul? Where are you at?
Yeah, he's like flipping it. You guys ever heard of Turkish Delight? You're like, okay. Okay, Jeff Dye.
Do you want to talk shit about him? Like, oh, go ahead. What'd you say, DJ? What'd you say? I didn't hear what you said.
I forgot. Oh, I was going to I was just talking about Warren and stuff, but it doesn't matter.
What do you mean? Say it.
Yeah.
No, because it's all kind of like this weird thing. I had talked to him. We talked to him yesterday too. But we were also like, there's this weird thing, and it's something that I don't want to get into. But I was going to say something that he had said to me. Mm-hmm. But then, anyways, sometimes when I say don't ever worry about it, just don't ever worry about it. Don't worry about it. They should move on. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, Mitch Hedberg is like remembered because of the weird delivery and all that. Yeah, but I think the reason that he actually like had staying power is the jokes on there by themselves and the concepts were actually so brilliant. And my favorite one of his, I think, is when your friend makes you repeat yourself, but you weren't saying anything. So then you have to say really loud, I said that tree's really far away. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, fuck, you know? Anyway. Well, we went through the gravy. I guess let's get into other stuff. Let's talk about the general strike. Do we believe in it? Are we excited about it? Are we nervous? How are we feeling?
Well, Richard Wolff did
Law and Order? Sorry. Please forgive me. Go ahead.
No, you know what? Never mind that. Let's move on. Because every time I say something about Richard Wolff, that joke happens, and And then it's just like, you know what? Don't want to do that anymore.
I can't help it. I can't help it. The other one I have is Andy. She's constantly, for some reason, talking about Portugal. It comes up all that she'll be like, yeah, I think this guy's in Portugal, like whatever, like one of the artists she works with at work.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I'll be like, the man, because there's a band called Portugal the Man, and she's like, it is not funny, and I was like, it is to me because you get mad. Do you not understand? You're the joke, not what I'm saying. You. Sorry, DJ, you're the butt of that joke. Go ahead, though.
I got into a car yesterday, I think an Uber yesterday, like just recently, and somebody was like, I got to do it. Where in the world is Carmen San Diego? And I was like, dude, for fucking 35 years. Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, I remember that show, too.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that. That's what I'm doing? That sucks. Go ahead, DJ.
Did you hear about that Waymo running over that kid?
Yeah.
Ran over a kid now?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Where was this?
I think San Diego or somewhere like that.
Oh my God. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. And guess what? There's not going to be any accountability. You know why? Because there's no driver.
I mean, you could definitely sue the fucking company.
Can you though? Because apparently people have been suing companies about child porn, about fucking, they've been doing all kind of stuff, and apparently there's just no one to sue.
Well, you sue, and then you win, and they don't pay you, and
then they put you in the database.
And then the court goes, well, we don't know how to arrest an exec.
Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly.
Well,
exactly.
Please, can you tell us about the general strike and Richard Wolff?
No, I can't tell you, Drew. I can't tell you, but what I can do, what I can do for you.
Wait, could you tell me who Richard Wolff is? I can't think of it at the moment. I have like a fog brain.
Very well established, renowned, celebrated, prolific author and economist, Marxist.
Mm-hmm.
Who pontificates about the falling of the empire, amongst other things.
Okay.
I think he puts a little too much emphasis on BRICS. This whole thing, the whole BRICS thing is like, yes, things are happening, but like, anyways. Well, I guess if you
what's
you
bricks?
Really
like literal bricks, like smash windows and disruption, or bricks?
No.
Conceptual bricks.
It is a conglomeration, an economic conglomeration of companies who are moving outside of, not outside of the dollar. That America's more than welcome to join, but what they've done is, like, especially to go around sanctions and to be able, they're trying to get out of the SWIFT bank and then to the International Monetary Fund, the IMF.
Mm-hmm.
A coalition. BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So they've built a coalition, and they have all this stuff. They have a type of, they're going to launch their BRICS Pays, which is a commodities exchange, where they'll be able to trade in commodities and their own currency outside of the dollar, so that when if America was to be able to sanction you, you could still do business with other countries outside of the dollar.
Gotcha.
And the fact that the dollar, the fact that America doesn't really manufacture anything. That we don't make anything, it's a step towards de-dollarization, which I personally feel is a long way away.
Yeah.
But war with Iran, it'll be here. It'll be here.
Let's circle back, because we're now introducing World War, which is on the table. I'm not suggesting it's not, but let's talk about Wolff and the general strike.
Well, and this is like based on historical reference. And so once the general strikes this is generally how it happens, right? These things will pick up.
Mm-hmm.
These things will pick up everywhere. The trade unions will grow. Things like this will happen. But at the same time, the violence will begin to escalate because, just like it was in Italy, just like it was in, in Nazi Germany, they used, some of the trade unions at first, and then they ended up murdering them all. But because they were supposed to be a socialist party, nationalist socialist,
Mm-hmm.
which is a totally different thing than socialism we talk about. But anyway, which is international word. Anyway, so he says, like, this is historically, this is absolute the right thing to do, but to look for, it's just one of those things that was bound to happen,
Mm-hmm.
and to look for an escalation of violence.
You're saying it's going to make things feel worse for a little while.
Yeah, it's definitely going to make things feel worse for a little while.
And that's kind of how you know it's working.
That's exactly right.
It's like getting in shape before a fight. If you're going to do it right, if you're boxing and you got to go 12 rounds, you're going to throw up during the exercise. Yeah. But in this case, that metaphor is people dying. So that's not very fun now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I feel like because at a certain point, the peaceful, then it's just brutalization, just obvious brutalization, and then that's the new cycle is them trying to reframe something we literally just watched, and them trying to be like, well, and then trying to humanize the people who are being brutal. It's like, I think once you go outside that, if there's any, because I mean, at the end of, like, everything in me says violence is the answer. Like, forever, everything in me has always said violence is the answer. But I also know that they want us to get to that point, so then they can, martial law and start really trying to control us that way.
Well, yeah. Also, I think everybody understands that this is that's what it's about, violence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's about state violence. It's about turning collapse into control.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it's not about immigration. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
It's not about they wouldn't have tried to extort the polling. Like, everything about this.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about this is points to the same direction.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just inevitable. It's just inevitable. Like, at this point in time, you're like on an escalation ladder there's no getting off of it.
Mm-hmm. It's just, it's unfortunate that people are starting to realize it so late.
Yeah. It's something that everybody's been screaming for a while, that this is like also it's I hate to say it, but it's bipartisan. You're not going to vote yourself out of this.
No, dude. When these DNC cunts start shooting off at the mouth, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. They got the National Guard out there handing out cookies and shit. Them motherfuckers ain't your friend, dog.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck, dude, this motherfuckers ain't your friend, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you might get into a situation like in New York or somewhere like that, where, like, the wrong motherfucker gets shot or gets beat up and somebody's cousin or something like that, then you start some fucking shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe you start some real fucking shit.
Brian made that point yesterday too. My buddy Brian, we were on the walk. I mean, I've heard versions of this, but I hadn't had anyone put it quite this way. They're claiming, and we all know they're lying, but they're claiming that, the goal of ICE is to deport illegals and dangerous criminals and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, the mere fact that there hadn't been war is proof that they're not. Because these people that they're making up out of thin air, who are like colonels in this gang and they're affiliated with MS-13 and I can't say trilingual or whatever the hell it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's like, if that person exists, and I don't even think they do, and they're cartel affiliated, and you are actually coming after them, and the violence is going to erupt. Like,
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
To your point about killing the wrong person or whatever.
Well, yeah, because the cartel don't take you killing their members lightly. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I mean,
And if they don't think they can win, then they're out. You know what I mean? So you're not going to find those people anyway. But that, again, I feel like we keep kind of circling through all these things that are super important and all going on. But in terms of the strike itself, you know, are you guys participating? Do you think a lot of people are going to participate? And then a question I had, and I almost felt almost ashamed, but I was like, there's some obvious things that you want to do if you can and you can participate. And then I was like, but I don't really know what it means beyond that. And maybe that's all it means. Here's an example. There's like a singer-songwriter thing that Andy's supposed to judge.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not at a bar or anything like that. I think it's at a community center. And I was like, no, I think you should go. You're not getting paid to do it's not work. It's not a bar, so you're not spending money. I think that's like community.
Yeah,
but then I was
think
like, well, maybe we're just all supposed to stay home. Because then you got to spend gas. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it is like, it kind of fucks with my head anyway when you start thinking about what it means to participate in the economy. Yeah. It's like existing.
Right. Yeah. Well, but also I feel like you're not feeding the machine. That's literally the opposite of feeding the machine. That's feeding the community.
I think so too. That was the conclusion I came to. But it is interesting, I think, to think about like what it means to go on a general strike. I think there's some things that are obvious for me, which is like, I'm not ordering anything off Amazon, you know, and I'm staying my ass at home if I can.
Yeah.
But there's other things that it's just interesting that other things feel less obvious. I'm going to get the one that's more gray, but you guys respond to that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on. Yeah, I feel like you can see what's happening in Minneapolis is, I feel like it's like a little microcosm of the example that we could be doing nationwide, and so I do think, I think an entire city, an entire state. I hope it catches on to where it's not. I'm always apprehensive because I don't want to be no kings, you know. I don't want to find out that this is being backed by some DNC prick where it's just another way to get us all feeling better, like we're all connected, as opposed to actually disrupting. I'm more for the disruption of the strike than the sense of community, if that makes sense. So I think if enough people do, I think it does. I think it does make a difference. I think if we do stop the economy, it does make a difference.
Yeah, I agree with that. Daniel, Justin?
Well, I think once again, a couple of points. The first of all is that, once again, we are on the escalation ladder. The escalation ladder's here. So if you go out and have a good time and like judge a concert and stuff or whatever, whatever, you should do that. You should get out of your community as much as possible. You participate in your community. I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, any way to build community in a time when we need it the most. Like that's like, yeah, we need more comrades.
All right, well, let me throw this at you because you guys might have you got pushing me the other way on this other one. So I also am supposed to have a show Friday. I'm supposed to judge a roast battle, but it's at a bar where they will be selling stuff. You know, so whoever is in attendance will not be doing, you know, the strike. And I had decided not to go. But comedy is my community. And by the way, I don't think I'm getting paid. Like that was never exchanged. And my buddy was like, "You want to judge this?" You know, months ago, and I was like, "Sure." But my job is stand up. You know what I mean? So I was like, "Okay, I could go and be like, I'm gonna do a set, and then I could talk about it, or I could just not go, which is fine."
Yeah.
I'm not in anguish over this. I thought, wow, what an interesting question. I thought.
It depends on how like if I were living in Minneapolis, I wouldn't do that. Hands down, wouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
But you'd have other shit to do too.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. 100%. That's so. Yeah. Like I could definitely, like again, man, being on the escalation ladder is like, you know, they're also doing it in Maine. There's different places right now that are being besieged. That are gonna strongly have something to do. If you're gonna go and you're gonna talk to people and you're gonna be out there, and you're gonna form like, you do your thing, and then form some sort of camaraderie with individuals. Probably a good idea. It's probably a good idea to do it.
Yeah, in between people calling each other slurs.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. Now, if it's just like a thing where you're like, I mean, it's a roast battle, so those things should die on their own, like on their own.
I love them. Maybe it's my guilty pleasure. I think it's great. No, it's like an open mic speedball where you're like, damn, that's what they really feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, to me, I'm like, yeah, I've always known you had that in you. Or sometimes you're like, okay, didn't know you had that in you. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like I would go based on feel. I mean, roast battle specifically. Yeah, I mean, roast battle.
I just thought it was an interesting question, especially because me and Andy both had shows. They are very different, but they are similar. We're both judges. You know what I'm saying? We're not like, I just thought it was interesting because
I had this thought the other day, which is in the same wheelhouse, but it's like all of these artists are making all of this art that's specifically for what is happening and then selling it to like, and it, like, part of it seems rad, but there's also a part of me that's like, you're capitalizing on the demise as well, and wanting the money of people that would be your allies.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
So I'm very conflicted about it because I'm like, yeah, this rips, but it's like you're also selling you're selling things to your comrade in a time where we shouldn't even be, but it's going to another artist. Like, I go back and forth.
I think to me, the key to like sussing that out is like, is this art solution based or is this art just like masturbatorial?
That's a great way to frame it.
I mean, most of a lot of it is what I'm seeing is just fuck ICE, anti all of this stuff. But then the money, like, it's like part of the proceeds go to this, part of the proceeds go to that. So it's like, it's a little bit of both, if I'm being honest with you. It seems like it's purposefully in a gray area to be like, buy my shit, I'm giving some of the money to the cause. But at the same time, these aren't rich people. These are definitely like us. They're just people who are like, fuck this, and I draw for a living, so I just want to make fuck this stuff art. I mean, at the end of the day, that's kind of part of my selfish reason why this is all trash, is because all the art's about the same fucking thing. And as an art nerd, I'm tired. Like, stop painting this orange fuck, please.
Yeah.
Stop creating iconography of this piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
I'm glad you brought it up. Like, this week, I think I've posted 3 videos, which I haven't probably done 3 videos in a week, maybe ever. And part of it, well, there was a 4th that I took down. Part of it goes back to Warren. I put one out, like, I made some jokes, but I was like, hey, he needs money, so he doesn't rely on the people he's going to help to, like, put him up and feed him. And it happened so quickly, and thank you, everyone. Like, it really did my heart. I should have opened with that, with What's Gravy, Baby, because I realized that was like 6 days ago, so it feels like but I haven't spoken about that yet.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
But it took like a couple hours to get to the goal, and then I was able to take it down, and that made me feel so good. But it also made me rethink some of the stuff you're talking about, because I have definitely my whole life kind of leaned towards, I mean, I run my mouth. Anyone who follows me knows I run my mouth. But I've also had this anguish sometimes of like, what am I doing? Like, if I'm going to make this little video and then it just kind of entertains people, and then that acts as a release valve for the stress they're feeling, and then they don't fucking do anything, I'm in the way.
Right.
But then the platform that I had, because I am that guy, because I have been entertaining to people who needed to hear someone say what they've been thinking in a funny way. In an hour and a half, I got my buddy to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So yes.
But DJ nailed it. I did that for a solution. And then the videos I made after that all week, because I was like I was kind of like on fire, like, okay, I need to find more people like that for this purpose.
Yeah.
And that kind of guides the art too, to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
Because I put out my little fuck ICE video, and then the next one I made was fuck the Democrats. And by the way, did not get shared as much. but it is helping me find the people that are gonna be there for
sure
stuff that is needed.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Because it's not masturbatory to them.
Right.
It's like they're engaged with this stuff. So I don't know.
It probably doesn't matter. I mean, it probably doesn't matter at this point. I think we're so into the weeds, it probably doesn't matter. But it was just like, and also
escalator point DJ's making.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're riding up the escalator, being like, "Damn, there's a cool store, over there. I wish I could get off this escalator." And somebody else goes, "That store's bullshit, actually." And it's like, well, this is a fun argument. We're already on the next floor.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Gordon.
No, but yeah, that's it. I guess at the risk of being a Democrat and trying to cannibalize ourselves even more, or anybody who's trying to, it was just like, I guess it just annoyed me, because at the end of the day, capitalism still wins, even in like these tiny ways, when we're like actively trying to fight it. And I think that just made me mad. But maybe that's the other thing too. Maybe they don't know who the fucks with their art, and maybe they're just hoping that this is, but it's just been like ramp. And I'm just so, much like ICE is adjusting and like putting stuffed animals in their vehicles to make it seem like they're not ICE vehicles, and much like they're, using plumbing vans with the iconography of the logo of the plumbing company to infiltrate and much in that way, it's like, is this another way for them to like infiltrate and try to fuck with us even more?
There's definitely, I will say for sure, there's definitely some like COINTELPRO shit going on.
Yeah.
Like 100%. There is some agent provocateur crazy shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another matter. I think also something that would be considering like all of this is that ICE, abolishing ICE, is like that's elite. This entire surveillance state, database, watching over, all of this stuff needs to be dismantled. It's not just ICE.
Yeah.
It's the entire everything that came from the Patriot Act down needs to be dismantled.
Mm-hmm.
Like the entire surveillance police state that has been built needs to be and there's not a body cam, there's not enough training, which is another thing that kills me when they talk about we need more training, and then these people who are shooting these people have like been served 4 years in Iraq and have had like, you're like, how much training do they fucking need? They got the best training in the world out of the military.
Right. But that's why they killed him on the first shot.
Yeah, exactly, because they were doing what they were trained to do.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that shit. Anyway, so my whole thing is like yes, dismantle ICE, but like you got to take down the fucking roots, all of its branches, all of its fucking shit, and it all needs to come down. I just don't see a way forward without it. I mean, your entire media. Look what's going on with TikTok. Look what's going on with the mainstream media. With like everything has been it's out of. There's no way out of this. There's no way out of this without violence and friendship. Violence and friendship, guys. That's
dude. I've been
friendship in violence. I say.
Speaking of capitalism and the hellscape of life, I have been wanting some merch. I think violence and friendship might be a good T-shirt.
I will say that, Jim. And I'm not. And you see this discussion about the 2A coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know if this thing doesn't get dismantled, well, we are also on the escalation ladder. Let's say the Democrats do go in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then there's going to be a time when, like, they're going to slowly whittle down all your civil rights of everybody. Of everybody, right? All the guns, all the everything. It's all, they're coming for everybody. Like, I'm not just saying this like, oh, this is a left or right thing. This is 100% a fucking all your civil liberties whatsoever, everything, and unless you just want to live in a police state where everybody's a fucking police, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It makes
Unless
it even
you wanna
better
live
when
in
you're
that.
looking around. I hope the people on YouTube are enjoying this. While you're saying this, you're like
Look,
looking
man,
around behind you.
let me tell you
Are the
something.
feds showing?
Let me check my 6.
Let me check my 6. Yeah, it's like
I was looking at my phone. I was trying to find it quickly without being too rude, and I couldn't find it. But our old buddy Elliot, who lives in Minneapolis, has been through George Floyd and all that at this point. Like, he's been there for years. He has 2 kids. I was talking to him some about it all, and but getting to what you were saying about how it's everything.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying in a sort of, what are we going to do? He's in that mode. Like, all right, well, what do we do then if it's everything?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, dude, we're so dumb. I was trying to find, because he phrased it so much better than this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, we need a catchy name. Like, he was like, I was thinking we need another Reconstruction, but no one likes the second Reconstruction.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else I've thought of sounds Nazi-ish. Like, oh, this is the 5th, and it's like, but we need something that Americans can be like, yeah, that's what we need.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, all of our other icons. That's like both hopeful and bleak sometimes when I think about it. It's like, why did you fail? And we ended up in this ultimate surveillance AI planeteer state that we're in. Well, we couldn't come up with a good enough gimmick. Fuck. Like if you had an omnipotent narrator, what if they said that? What if it was like, we just weren't fucking that weird combination of dumb cool. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're too cool, you don't get enough people in. But if you're not cool at all, you get nobody. So like, there's this. It's like, it's wrestling. It's fucking John Cena, dude. It's that thing where you're like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen, and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing for that, though.
I know.
No, because I'm thinking I know what you're saying, but also I think that's just like we feel like we would need that, but like we also need to break our brains from that. From needing that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes,
we need to break.
So I was saying, it's like, it's such a bleak thought.
Yeah. To think about a Revolution's rebrand.
Break our brains from needing a hero.
Yeah, the Revolution rebrand for sure. It is a nauseating thought.
That's what revolutionary psychedelia is all about. But I would like to also say this about the police aid and like these things, like if there was a way to do it without violence, like, man, dude. Well, I don't really want to say that out loud. Okay, never mind. Let me not say that. I don't really believe in violence.
Me, yeah. You were me a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to scrub some stuff.
Yeah. I don't want anybody to have to work. So, yeah. Never mind that. But I don't believe in violence. I don't believe in violence. It's a weird thing to be in a situation where you're like, well, what else do you do?
Yeah, let's explore that, because I actually think that when you hear people say I don't believe in violence, I think there are 3 different meanings out there, and most people kind of assume everyone has the same meaning as you, as yourself, and I don't think that's true. So when you say you don't believe in violence, DJ, what do you mean?
Well, I definitely believe in self-defense.
Okay,
that's 100%.
Do you mean you don't believe it's the right thing to do, a good thing to do, or that it doesn't work?
Okay, that it doesn't. That it I do believe it works. It absolutely works.
But a lot of people mean that. A lot of people are like, it's never the answer. It won't work, and I don't agree with that. But it doesn't mean that I believe in violence. It's just that I believe in its effectiveness. Go ahead.
Yeah, I believe in violence as an effective, deterrence and in defense, 100%. I mean, I've seen it, I've done it. You know what I mean? Like it is, but like I feel like you can get it, and I don't believe in any kind of kumbaya shit. Um, I believe I don't. I guess it's not that I don't believe it. I don't like it, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
right.
I think people also mean that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's what
it's
I mean.
good.
It's like I would rather it not be like. I'd rather help people than to hurt people.
Right. I think you don't believe it's good.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah,
it sometimes has to happen.
Yeah, it's just effective. Well, not only that, but it's just the data. I just go by the data. Whenever there is, that is the change that always happens. It's never a peaceful protest. It's a riot. It's always something that's escalated to the point of violence that gets people like, I mean, unfortunately, George Floyd was a perfect example. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that got the entire world on board to what the fuck was happening. At the end of the day, we're still now back in Minneapolis, and civil human beings are being brutalized again in a different context. And it's like, so in the grand scheme, did it change anything? No. But has more change happened with violence? Yes. You see what I'm saying? Like, do I want people like, I've been anti like gang, like working with community and people trying to, I get it because it's ultimately all the same. It's the same tool in every context that you use it, but it does work, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
what if we, nope, I was going to do a bit and it's going to sound like actual terrorism. Sorry.
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. I have to watch what you say. Dude, that's what worries me about people saying, and there's a part of me that I definitely believe that the people who are doing the murdering and who are allowing the murdering and covering up all of it, there needs to be accountability for this. And I mean like prison sentences. I'm not romantic about prisons, but like this is like one of those things where it's
that's what the prisons were actually for, not for people with non-violent crime bullshit. Yeah. This is supposed to be what a prison is for.
I think prison was supposed to be for money and for slavery and like.
But I'm saying like this is what a prison should be for. Not
should be.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing when we talk about these things, there needs to be a nuance, like talk about all of these things, everything from like open borders to like prisons and like everything. It's like, yes, open borders. We could get to that point, but so much has to happen. Abolition, yes, that's an end goal. That's an end goal through like decades worth of work. You know what I'm saying? But like right now, you know, most of the borders is just like the whole situation with it. And I agree. I don't think it's about immigration at all. But you hear people having these conversations like that, and it's like, well, like number one, they're not going after the people who are hiring these people, right? If you were going after the employers, I would totally feel different about this entire situation, but you're not. And you're not going to, right? You're not going into the hotels.
I mean, that's been the whole thing for years. Monsanto busing people over that are undocumented.
Yeah, we're talking about economic, like, imperialism is what we're talking about. Migration as a way to exploit workers and things like that. This is really what we're talking about. So we're talking about having to redo the whole fucking system.
And by the way, is part of why there is a groundswell of people against this is they're going, hey, wait a minute. We need to keep exploiting these motherfuckers. Y'all better stop scaring them.
Yeah. Yeah, and yes, exactly. That is one thing.
That's where the Democrats come in. I mean, that's the difference between the corporatists and the oligarchs. Is the oligarchs are okay ruining it all because they're already fucking uber rich, and then you have the corporatists that are like, no, we need to be able to keep this economic imperialism going in order to keep because we built our entire structure on it.
Please don't call my wage slave a slur. It's very upsetting.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, totally. Dude, I mean, this is the whole thing. Like, so many things have to happen for us to even have these conversations.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird thing because you get into these like.
So that's why when we're having this conversation about violence and you're like, that person should be arrested and tried and go to jail. That's why I'm like, maybe the violence actually. Maybe the violence.
That is violent, though. Let's talk about that, though. Like, that would be doing violence to that person. So if you're for that, like, that's another thing about anyone out there listening. If you're like, I don't believe in violence, it never works, but I think these people should go to jail, then you believe in violence. That is what that is.
Mm-hmm.
That is being violent to a person and deciding that they deserve it or that we have to do that as a society to shape things, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to point that out.
Well, I mean, I would like to point out the fact that like all of this is great about ICE and stuff. I mean, it should be dismantled. The police state, a paramilitary in our city streets, with this putting people in a database that they don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is terrible. This is awful. It's like if Democrats get into it, then they'll just do it like, you know what I'm saying? And then there'll be retribution, and then there'll be retributions until we have literally nothing left.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it's like that whole thing where like it's the fish rots at the head. It's like the entire fucking government in the everything about it needs to change before we can have honest, open conversations about this stuff. I forgot where I was going with that, but
well, one thing that I was thinking on that I think might make people chuckle a little, even though it's dark. And it's related to all this. I was thinking about the time I had a beer with JD Vance, and I don't know how long people have been listening. I don't know if people are aware of that. Once upon a time, JD Vance splashed onto the national scene with a book called Hillbilly Elegy. And he started making the rounds, trying to get on talk shows and stuff. And at that time, Trey, Corey, and I had a thing on Sirius XM radio.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody was like, hey, you want this guy to come on? And they, at that time, I'm pretty sure they were like, he's a centrist or he's like, whatever. Anyway, we had him on. We talked to him at that time and later. He called Donald Trump the right's Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that has been talked about ad nauseum, but something I haven't really heard anyone point out. And I think this is the subtext that people pointed out, but it is kind of funny. Like if you were JD's lawyer in the court of public opinion and you would be like, well, yeah, he still feels that way.
Yeah.
Like, you just act like he's a hypocrite. No, he just.
Well, no, because
he's in that team.
He doesn't have shit to do with Trump. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, you were saying, what I'm getting at is like, what if he was like, basically like, that dude's Hitler. Can't wait to join his team. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
He just assumed he meant it as an insult, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We contextualize it as, oh, and so you're anti that. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. This has to do with like immigration and also the war industry is like having conversations like, okay, all y'all hate these Somalians and stuff. Y'all have done like 9 airstrikes on Somalia this year,
Mm-hmm.
dog. You know what I'm saying? Like you did a color revolution. Like you're in there fighting. Fucking, they're trying to claim that Somaliland is like Israel or like whatever did is like trying to claim it Somaliland. Like you're trying to break up these countries. Then you end up getting immigrants. Like what about stopping? And this is all the way around.
Yeah, maybe don't make where people are from fucking war torn, and then they wouldn't be immigrating. They wouldn't be immigrating anywhere if you didn't steal all the resources from these fucking countries, and you didn't make them destitute. Right. You didn't fucking infiltrate from the fucking CIA, and now it's okay for them to come out and actually say that that's what they're doing. That's how chill it is. It's like, dude.
It's also sorry.
So you don't want any Venezuelans here, right? But you just want to kill them wherever they go. They're not worth anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's a crazy way to just be out there and say that shit.
Yeah.
But also, furthermore, on the fucking war tip on why the war industry is like, even if it's your favorite guy, even if it's Ukraine, right? All that fucking technology, all that money you're giving the Raytheon and fucking Lockheed Martin and all that shit, all this when you push for them to go in there, and you might have the most noblest causes. Okay, yeah, fuck Putin, right? All that shit is coming back here. This shit is coming back here. Have no doubt. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You are building the industry. When you cheer for war, for American adventurism, for military adventurism across the country, regardless if we're supporting somebody or not, mm-hmm. You know, well, what are you supposed to do? Dude, you're supposed to let them figure it out. Because, like, we haven't really done a great job over there anyway. To be honest.
It'd be different if we had a sick record.
Yeah, dude. Yes, 100%. So you really got to stand by no war but class war. It's crazy to see people come out and be like, okay, yeah, the Iran's government sucks, dude, okay? But, like, ain't no, they should just go, that's them, but we've got enough problems here. Like, what
our government sucks. I mean, the same thing can be said about here, dude.
They're killing protesters here. Like, why are you fucking worried about them? What are we talking about? What the fuck are we even talking about anymore?
What the fuck are we even talking about?
Sorry.
No, I agree. What I was going to say earlier.
It's no war but class war, and that's the fucking line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's and related to that, kind of, but more specific to the point that Carmen was making about, like, we have folks coming here from war-torn places, and we're the cause of the war. It is untenable to claim to be conservative on any part of the spectrum of conservatism, whether we're talking about big C conservative or little c conservative philosophically, to not recognize that and be against it unless you just are also extremely racist and literally feel like white supremacy is either ordained by God or should be part of the world order. It is impossible for you to say that you are conservative. Mm-hmm. And then before that, before going out, you know, that's something that you're pro, going out, fucking and muddling in these countries' affairs, and then when they come, wanting to blame them and call them the problem in your own society.
That's not how you conserve. That's the whole thing is they were the party, buy American, keep American here. And now it's like literally like they've been grifted.
Well, it's literally neoliberalism. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is literally the textbook. You got a poli-sci degree. Mm-hmm. Here's the professor saying definition of what neoliberalism is. Go there, fuck it up, give them a McDonald's. I mean, the only difference is that part. If you don't give them the McDonald's, then they'll come to your country. But the idea is to give them the McDonald's so they'll stay there and prosper or whatever you put in quotes.
Right.
You cannot be conservative and be for that, again, unless you just think, right, but if it serves my country, then I'm for it. But again, you're now you're a neocon.
Well, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. People's brains are cooked. People's brains are cooked everywhere. Look, dude, I was watching a status quo video about they were doing it in Minnesota, and there was somebody like, you know, well, you don't have to cry for them because they're white. And this is a bad look to say something like that. Jesus. You know what I'm saying? But there are people who feel like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Stupid people.
Yeah, there's a lot of so I hate to just people are so fucking cooked right now that it's like, I don't know, man. It's like you could have so many different opposing ideas in your head that it's like you're just fucking. People are schizophrenic, dude. That's not me talking shit about that person. I'm just saying, like, it's or not saying you're right about the neoliberalism. It is. It's just the amount of propaganda that's been flushed down people's heads, and like the whole thing has just made so many people just so crazy right now. So they could totally be a conservative and do it and believe in all it.
Yeah. When I said you can't, I meant like.
Okay.
If there was like a referee or whatever.
I mean, that was the whole thing we were talking about. Like they were. I mean, it's already been done at nauseum in the media, but them being criticizing somebody for having right wing media criticizing somebody for being a card carrying gun holding member is insane. Like, it's already insane. Like, that's been y'all's thing since y'all's done started, and now you're like, well, he shouldn't have had a gun. Oh my god, baby, what? What?
There he is.
Well, give up your guns then. If that's the case, give them up. Give them up because there's a whole bunch of trans people that are getting armed right now, and I fucking love it. I love every bit of it. I think all of you, everything of you listen to this podcast, you should have a gun. The end. Hard stop. We'll see you at the range.
I've been trying to think of who I can joke or what I can joke we should kill.
Mm-hmm. This whole time, it has looked like you've been looking for something on your face this entire episode. Is that what it is? Who is it okay to murder?
Yeah, who's like the person you could say where it's obviously a joke and not terrorism? What's the event you can disrupt and it's a joke, it's not terrorism?
If it's not terror, it's not the government. It's not related to the government, so it's obviously the Peter Thiels of the world. That's how it
works. I think if you blew up the Super Bowl, for example, you'd be a terrorist, even if it had nothing to do with the government being there.
I mean, only if there's a manifesto. There'd have to be something that ties it. Otherwise, it's just an act of violence. I love
your spirit in what this argument is, but I want you to know that in the court of law, I don't think you're getting me off on a terrorism charge if I do any of these things, which I'm not ever going to. I really don't believe in that. I've said it numerous times on here that Ted Kaczynski was completely right until he started killing people over it. That was the weirdest part. He had all these correct ideas, and he's like, and now I'm going to send bombs to children. And it's like, well, what the fuck was that about? How did we get... Anyway.
Yeah, you should just went on a lecture fucking tour.
Yeah, or kill people in power. What the fuck, dude? I'm going to mail...
That's a good part, too. Yeah, you could do that. There's a lot of lack of that going on as far as like with people who are, involved in these types of things. Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you, man, we're talking about like conservative, like brain rot as far as that's concerned. I know y'all saw like the Erica Kirk stuff come out, and like she was like 5 days after.
Carmen's been packing. You might have to illuminate her.
What's the new thing?
So basically, they like worked a bunch of people. The TPUSA basically worked the shit out of people, like 20-hour days, sending out hats and stuff. Oh yeah, dude. This was after Charlie Kirk died, and there's like video. Now everybody's leaking everything. They're leaking phone calls. They're leaking fucking videos, dude. Oh, dude, it's gnarly. Which, by the way, anybody think that there was going to be a healthy work environment?
Come on, dude. Come on, dude. They're mad they're not Amazon. Are you kidding me? They watch those videos about Amazon workers pissing in bottles and they jerk to it.
Right. And and she's just as happy as she could be in these funds. This is 5 days after the fucking murder. She is like talking about how blessed.
Guys, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, dude.
The numbers that we're seeing, I just want everyone to know we're so thrilled.
Yeah.
And then when Candace released that one, Carmen, one of the DJ Senator, I don't know, but one of the top comments opens, this is actually fucking disgusting. People grieve differently, and I was like, Jesus, they're still, and then the rest of it, like, they set me up. It was satire. It was the top comment at the time. It was like, people grieve differently. Some people go into a shell, blah, 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 and then it was like, the jokes we've heard. Some people become a WWE wrestler who talks to their employees like they run Goop magazine. And I was like, we're back, baby.
Yeah, we're back. Which is crazy. It's crazy that they held the line. But what's even weirder than that is like all this is going on at the same time. There's a guy named Wolves in Finance that he runs a YouTube channel. He's getting cease and desist letters because he's uncovering fraud from a TPUSA that they basically, it's really fucking weird, dude. Got a letter from Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, right, with what looks to be Donald Trump's handwriting on it, that's basically telling them that the IRS is not going to look into them. And that's, when has that ever happened?
All the time.
Yeah. No one's ever gotten a fucking letter from fucking the fucking Treasury Secretary that the IRS was not going to fucking.
I agree with that. No one's ever gotten a letter, but the act that actually happens quite literally all the time.
Well, yeah, and then there's all this donation stuff that they're doing. They're like coercing, like the whole thing with them promoting JD is totally illegal for a 501c3 to have that type of fucking. It's everything that they're doing is illegal.
Yeah, they're also like a super PAC.
Yeah,
but they're a nonprofit.
Yeah,
they always have though. That's been the case with them since the inception because Turning Point's whole thing. But whatever, we're about to run out of time, so I didn't want to get into that too much. We can do it next time. I'd love to shit all over Turning Point and Eric.
Well, I'm saying is, all the evidence in the world shows that there was a coup. There was a coup, okay?
Yeah, she had him killed, dude.
Maybe not just her, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, she was definitely involved. There's video of her with the CIA trying to come up. She was like, her and her boyfriend. Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. Anyways.
Well, it's because whatever you feel about Charlie Kirk, it turns out, I think, I could be wrong, that he believed some of that shit.
Yeah, we did.
He was surrounded by people who pretended to believe things in order to have what.
Absolutely.
And they were probably jealous of him because, how could you not be jealous of someone who's more popular than you and really means it? And I don't want it to sound like I'm defending Charlie Kirk because I think arguing with 19-year-olds is a fucking joke. Like if that's your brand or whatever.
But yeah. But when your biggest hater is your wife, woo, your set up fake wife.
Kind of reminded me of, especially pre-Riyadh, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Even before Riyadh, they were turning on Burr.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminded me of that, of the Rogan verse. You could tell they want so bad, some of them, to just go after this guy. Because they've always been jealous of him. You know what I mean? It's because he's one of the greats and they're podcasters.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, but to have all this evidence to still be like, no, this is my jam. This is who I fuck with. Even though all the evidence that you could possibly want points to a massive cover up that goes all the way up to the fucking presidency. It's fucking wild. Same thing with Epstein thing. It's fucking wild. People can believe anything. They can talk themselves into believing anything that they fucking want to if they feel like that power is going to serve them.
Well, they need to believe it because if not, it might destroy either their view of the world or worse, their view of themselves and their place in it.
That's the major one.
Mm-hmm.
And, we've all been there. Most of us figured it out at 16 or 20, though. I mean, it hurts. So, I acknowledge that.
Sure.
It's very painful to be like, oh, man, I'm not at all who I told myself I was.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, fucking Donald Trump is about to be the king of trying to be the king of the UN and shit, right? And fucking take over Gaza and make trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars because Biden fucked up that bad. He hasn't even gotten a fucking thank you. He hasn't even gotten a thank you. Sit on that one.
We gotta go. We're running past our time. And it's not Friday. We do have people on the clock. What was I going to say? I don't remember. I guess I'll plug some stuff. I'll be in Athens on February 15th, closing out the Drive-By Trucker Weekend, Athens, Georgia. Corey Forster is the co-headlining bill. Has been calling himself the Jelly Roll of the Left. I'm going to go with it. I'll be the co-headline with the Jelly Roll of the Left.
Is he going to start singing?
I will be in...
He
has been singing. I have a video of him singing shirtless in his underwear that he put out. I recorded it off his Twitter during the pandemic. I'm also going to be in Knoxville for an Ice Out benefit show. I want to say that's February 22nd, but I'll be posting about all that. So come on out and see me, guys.
Hell yeah.
Patreon.com/gravybabypod. We got a couple of cool guests coming up for you guys that we're pretty stoked about. So make sure you guys sign up and check those out. All right, we love you. Everybody got quiet. We love you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
You could stick a whole ribeye in one of your back pockets.